Hello, my name is Dorothy Sheely. I have been doing research on and writing about the friendship train. Probably most of you have never heard of the train. It crossed the country in 1947, collecting food for the hungry people of Europe, primarily France and Italy. Drew Pearson, a leading broadcaster and columnist of that time, conceived the idea of the friendship train. While in Europe, he had noticed the Soviets unloading boxcars of grain for European countries. He did not like the idea of Europe becoming communist. He realized that that was a Soviet intention. When he returned to the United States, in his columns and broadcasts, he launched the idea of the friendship train. 5 weeks later, the train left Los Angeles. The date was November 7, 1947. There was a huge departure ceremony. Many movie stars showed up to participate in the celebration. Some of them were Elizabeth Taylor, John Wayne, Mickey Rooney, and Eddie Cantor. When the train reached New York, it was no longer one train, but 3. It had at least 270 boxcars and $40 million worth of food. Ships waited in the harbor, ready to transport the cargo to Europe. Not only did France and Italy receive some of the food, but other European countries received some of it. Those countries were Germany, Austria, Belgium, Greece, and others. One of the most amazing facts about the friendship train is that it was all donation. The American people gave from their cupboards and grain fields. The shipping company and railroad companies donated their equipment and transportation free of charge. The friendship train was one of the greatest humanitarian movements in history. Drew Pearson was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. I want to emphasize an important point about the friendship train, and that is that it was not the Marshall Plan. The friendship train was the result of the efforts of the American people. The Marshall Plan was a plan of the United States government. 16 months after the cargo had arrived in Europe, a ship sailed into New York Harbor. The ship was from France, and it had 49 boxcars of gifts for the American people. It was a thank you from the French people to the American people. The 49 boxcars were one for each state and one to be shared by D.C. and Hawaii. The gifts contained such simple items as a handkerchief or a toy, and more elaborate and important items such as Lafayette's walking stick and a bugle that sounded the end of World War I. This train of 49 boxcars was known as the Merci train. On my website there is a link to the Merci train. My website is www.thefriendshiptrain1947.org. Both sites are well worth viewing.